Hello students, today we will go through the chapter People as Resource. What is meant by people as resource? It is a term that explains how a population can be an asset then a liability. It is a way of referring to countries' working people in terms of their existing productive skills and ability. It shows that investment in education and training can turn the population into a human capital. It helps in further production. It converts all other resources into usable form. It generates more than the uneducated and the unskilled. It also reduces the dependency ratio. And as mentioned, that it shows that how a population is an asset for the economy rather than a liability. Normally, we just see the negative side of the population, and the positive side of the population is normally overlooked, that the investment in the human capital through the education, training, medical care, it yields a return like investment in physical capital. So, normally we overlook this side. Before we proceed with the quality of the population or how the population can be turned into an asset, let's talk about few of the terms, that is the economic activities. What are economic activities? These are normally categorized in three parts. The economic activities normally support or contributes to the flow of goods and services, and increased production is an indicator of the progressive economy under the economic activities. It also leads to an increase in the personal income as well as the national income. So economic activities, these can be categorized into three parts or three types: primary activities, secondary activities, and tertiary activities. Primary activities are the activities which are connected or related to the nature, that is agriculture or forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, quarrying, dairy farming. These all things comes under the primary activities. The secondary activities, these include the manufacturing. Manufacturing is included in the secondary sector. And in the tertiary sector normally supports the primary and the secondary activities. The trade, the transport, communication, banking, education, health, services, insurance, and the tertiary activities are also known as the service activities. Then the term comes market activity. Market activity, when some product or service is produced to be sold in the market, it is called the market activity. And the non-market activity, when some product or service is produced for self-consumption. Say if a farmer produces just enough to meet his family needs, then his activity is a non-market activity. And similarly, the work of a housewife is also a non market activity because she is working for the benefit of her family members and she doesn't earn from it. Now, the quality of population. The quality of population depends on the literacy rate, health of a person indicated by life expectancy, and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. Now, it shows that the illiterate or the unhealthy and unemployed person are a liability for the economy, whereas literate, healthy, and employed population is an asset. So, if an investment is made in the education of a person, it is going to yield a good return in future. Now, question arises, what is the role of education in human capital formation? So, first of all, it is a main factor of economic and social development. It leads to the development of science and technology, it encourages economic development, it increases efficiency of workers, it enhances national income, it contributes in the growth of society. So, as there are so many of benefits of the education in turning the population into human capital, so government has taken many steps to improve or to provide the education to all sections of the society. The provision is made that in the quality in elementary education with special emphasis on girls. More stress on the girl education has been given. Besides this, vocational streams are open with occupation related knowledge and skill for the students. The major step taken by the government is the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. It has been a significant step providing elementary education to the age groups of 6 to 14 years by 2010 and provided bridge courses and back to school campus initiated to increase enrollment elementary education. Then was the midday meal scheme. This was to improve nutritional status also, and sometimes what used to happen that the children they used to go home to have their meal and they didn't or never turned up again back to the school. So the midday meal scheme was started so as to solve this problem also, and even to reduce the dropouts from the school also. Then, under the 10th plan, increased enrollment of higher education had been stressed, and uh, the stress on the distant education had also been given. Distant education means the people who could not come to the schools, so they could at least get education by sitting at their places. Now, what is the role of health in the human capital formation? It involves individuals' physical, mental, economic, and social well being. Health of a person helps to realize potential and ability to fight illness. It increases efficiency of workers. It increases learning capacity of workers. A healthy person is an asset for firm and country, whereas unhealthy person is a liability for the country. So to improve the health conditions of the people, the national health policy was framed in 2002, which aimed at improving and accessibility of the healthcare, family welfare, nutrition service, especially for the underprivileged population. It aimed at achieving an acceptable standard of health for the general population of the country, and under this, a well structured three-tier public health infrastructure has been set up, comprising of community health centers, primary health centers spread across rural and semi urban areas, and tertiary medical care providing multi speciality hospitals and medical colleges in urban areas. 81 out of 181 medical colleges have basic facilities, whereas more and more now the multi speciality hospitals had also been made under the National Health Policy 2002. Now, the biggest problem of the country is the unemployment. What is unemployment? It is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find jobs. In case of India, we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. However, the nature of the unemployed differs in rural and urban areas. In case of rural areas, there is seasonal and disguised unemployment, urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. So unemployment, it is spread everywhere in the country, and the government is taking many steps so as to eradicate this problem, but still it persists. Anyway, we'll talk about the types of unemployment. First one is the seasonal unemployment, and it happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. And it normally happens in the agriculture sector, where the labor is hired at the sowing time and the harvesting time, whereas for the other months of the year they remain unemployed. Disguised unemployment, it is also there normally in the agriculture sector. In this case, people appears to be employed. Some work requires the work of only few people but engages more people than it needs. The extra workers are called disguised unemployed, and this usually happens with agricultural families. And the problem of unemployment is also there in the urban areas. But in the urban areas, we have the educated unemployed. It is a very common in urban areas. Many educated youths are not able to find a job, and they are called the educated unemployed, and it's a very crucial problem in the country. Now, effects of unemployment. Unemployment has a detrimental impact on the person and even on the family and even the country. It can be emotionally draining on the unemployed person. It can be a financial and emotional drain on his family members. A large number of unemployed people is ultimately a liability for the society. High rate of unemployment can also increase the crime rate. And what I feel ki nowadays the crime rate which has increased to such an extent, it is only because of the unemployment. And what happens that if a person cannot be used as a resource, they naturally appear as a liability to the economy. And increase in unemployment is an indicator of a depressed economy even. It wastes the resources which could have been gainfully employed. It also tends to increase economic overload. The dependence of the unemployed and on the working population increase. The quality of life of an individual as well as of society is adversely affected. And there is also a decline in the health status, and somewhere rising withdrawal from the school system also. And there is always a feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. So we have seen so many impacts, or such a detrimental impact of unemployment is there on the overall growth of an economy. Plus, it has an impact on the person also who is unemployed. No doubt, the government is has taken many steps, or government has invested in the education, in the health field, and in even providing the employment to the people. So if all these things are there in a person, then the person is called as a resource. So our government has done much to turn the population into more usable, or you can say to turn the population into a human capital. I hope the concept must be very clear.